Hello everyone, I'm Neha, your happiness coach. Every child is like a blank canvas, and we as parents are artists. But what if in creating that masterpiece, we are using the wrong brush? We all want to raise happy, confident, and independent kids. But what if in the process of our parenting, we are losing that idea and losing on that concept somewhere? At the end of the day, how we parent is how our child will be tomorrow. Have you ever stopped to think, what kind of a parent am I? Whether we realize this or not, all of us fall into these four styles of parenting at the end of the day, and it impacts our child's entire world tomorrow. Let me just quickly tell you the different styles of parenting. The first one is the authoritative parent. Well, the most formidable and the ones that raise the most confident, independent, and healthy, mentally healthy kids. They give you enough permissions, but they also guide you in the right way. They are also known as the guiding light. They would suggest you what to do, but also leave a lot of things once you start growing and understanding decisions to be taken by on your own. They set clear boundaries, but they also listen, empower, and let the kids explore. This is by far one of the best parenting style, and as parents, if we are able to adapt to this style of parenting, you can be rest assured that your kids will be raising up to be the most happy, confident, and independent individuals. The second parenting style is the permissive style, where the parent is a friend but is not the guide. Because the parent is always just wanting to give and do whatever the child wants, because you just want to be so soft and so nice. Most of the parents in this category are the ones where, when they come to me for counseling, are the ones where they always say that I never got this when I was a child. So I just want to give everything and do everything for my child. But I always tell them that in due course, my dear parents, you do not understand that where you're going to fall back on is once your child grows up, he would never have heard no during his entire life. So, say for example, when he is going for a job, and if he is rejected in his first job, that will be like a big, big blow to him or her. Today's reason of depression and stress in kids is purely because they've never heard no in their lives. I'm sure as kids, all of us, our parents did tell us no, right? When we asked for a lot of things, we were told, no, you will not get it now. So we were used to it. So if some kind of failure, or when we go outside to the outside world, when we hear things like that, it doesn't truly matter to us too much, because we know that it's not going to always be a yes. It's not a yes world. And of course, it is going to come with a mix of a yes and a no. So if you are that kind of a parent, please make sure that you're making that change in your parenting style, because your child otherwise will not, one, be able to take no, second, will never be able to decide on what has to be done rightfully, because he's always been told yes for everything. So anything and everything that comes to him first will be like, okay, yes, let's do it. He will not be able to process and think in his head what's right and wrong. The third one is the neglectful parent. Guys, I understand a lot of us get lost in our responsibilities in trying to raising our kids in the best format, giving them the best in their life, the best education, the best of the things that they want. But somewhere in this race of giving them the best, we are emotionally and mentally absent for them. And this creates a huge void. I always tell this to a lot of parents when they come to me, that your absence, your physical absence, cannot be fulfilled, or that gap cannot be filled with anything and anything that you can provide them with. Gifts, buying them expensive gifts, giving them everything physical in the world, but you cannot fill that void. So make sure that however busy you are taking out that time for your child, you are spending that time. You know what will happen tomorrow once you grow old, and you would want them to come to you, spend time with you, and then you would want to have that be time with them. They will just have one answer. I recently had this child was 17 years old, and he just told me, his parents were like, he doesn't talk to us, he doesn't come to us, he doesn't, really tell us anything what's happening, and we just want to know. We are not going to tell him no for anything, but we just want to know. You know what he told me? He just told me, ma'am, When I was young, when I was, 10 and 11 years old, I really wanted them to sit with me, play with me. A few of my friends used to have their parents where they used to sit and play, talk. They never used to listen to what happened in school. They always came in late. I had slept by then. I don't connect with them. I don't feel that they are, somebody whom I can share things with. And today, now that he's 17 and 18, he's already grown up enough. And now it's difficult for him to get into that line process of where they want him to come and talk. But now he's just over that age and he's just gone too far off. So, my dear parents, please understand you need to spend that time with your child at the right age. Suddenly, when you expect them to come back to you and start telling you all the stories all out of the blue, right, just, wake up one day and say, no, no, now I love you and now you have to come to me, doesn't work. So make sure you're able to strike that balance somewhere. Your work is there, but then at least if during the week you're not able to find the time, make sure that you're there with them over the weekends at least. And the last category are the helicopter parents, what you call them in today's terminology, or the overly protective parents. So they are the ones who are there for you all the time, ready to solve all your issues, ready to jump into all your concerns, and basically ending up raising kids who cannot take a simple decision tomorrow, as simple as when they go out for shopping, whether I should buy a shirt or a t-shirt, what should I be wearing, what should I be eating, where I should be going. I'm sure none of us wants our kids to be that dependent, right? But when we are raising them, we just don't realize this. When we're just too much into them, too much involved into them, we just end up taking all their calls. We don't let them decide. If there is a project in school, you are the ones who are deciding. My son is 10 and, anything that happens in school and he comes and tells me that this has to be done, where there are a set of choices that he has to pick and choose from. He'll always come back to me and he'll be like, Mama, what should I do? And he's only 10. But I didn't start doing this today, this exercise. This was started way earlier, where I always told him when there was a set of options that were given to him at school or things like that, you decide. It's your school competition. You decide whether you want to participate, you don't want to participate, what do you think is the best that you want to do. Because at the end of the day, it's you who's going to be participating and it's you who's going to be working hard towards it, right? Not me. So you decide and then you come back and tell me what you're going to do and I'm going to help you go around it. That's exactly the kind of independence that you need to give your kids. Tomorrow you will not even realize, but your kids will become such poor decision makers that even making the smallest to the biggest of decisions in life, they will make blunders. And all of us know that, if we are not able to take the right decisions in our life, how much it costs you at the end of the day. So, my dear parents, I hope you were able to relate and understand which is your parenting style and what kind of a parent are you and how you can make changes. You have understood which category are you and now which category is that you need to get into or make changes to your parenting style so that you can do the best for your child. I'm sure as parents, all of us just want the best for our kids and let's do the best for them, but in a format that can be best for them tomorrow as well. Please like and share this video with every single parent whom you know needs these little changes and maybe is not realizing, but maybe sometimes when we just see it, right, or listen to certain things, it makes us realize that, oh, okay, we can do this too. None of us are picture perfect. All of us are learning, and in this learning process, we just need to make sure that we do the best for our kids. Do let me know how you like this video, how it connected with you. Do subscribe to my channel for more such interesting updates on parenting, love, counseling, and happiness. Let me know how this thought connected with you. Until then, it's me, Neha, signing off. Bye-bye.